The metal door slammed shut behind Maya Johnson as she walked into the prison yard for the first time. Her hands shook, but she kept her head high. At 23 years old, she never thought she would be here. The concrete walls seemed to close in around her as hundreds of eyes watched her every step. Little did she know that in just 30 days her life would change forever. And the biggest bully in this place would learn a lesson she would never forget. Maya clutched her books tight against her chest. Even in prison, she was not going to give up on her dreams. She had been studying to become a teacher before everything went wrong. Now she had to finish her degree behind bars. But some people did not want to see her succeed. "Well, well, well," said a cold voice behind her. "Look what we got here." Maya turned around slowly. Standing there was Lisa Thompson. Everyone knew Lisa. She was 32 years old with blonde hair and mean blue eyes. She had been in prison for 5 years and ruled the place like a queen. Nobody crossed Lisa Thompson. Nobody. "You think you better than us with them books," Lisa sneered. Her gang of friends laughed behind her. "This ain't no school, little girl. This is prison. Time to learn some real lessons." Maya felt her heart beating fast. She wanted to run, but there was nowhere to go. "I just want to be left alone," Maya said quietly. "I don't want any trouble." "Too bad," Lisa said, stepping closer. "Trouble already found you. That first week was like living in a nightmare." Lisa made sure Maya's life was terrible. She would knock the books out of Maya's hands in the hallway. She would cut in line at lunch and take Maya's food. She would spread lies about Maya to the other inmates. Maya tried to stay strong, but every day was getting harder. "Why don't you just give up?" Lisa said one day in the library. She grabbed Maya's homework and ripped it in half. "Stop pretending you're gonna be somebody. We all know the truth. You nothing but another criminal just like the rest of us." Maya watched her weeks of work fall to the floor in pieces. Tears filled her eyes, but she would not let them fall. "Not in front of Lisa. You don't know me," Maya whispered. "I know enough," Lisa laughed. "I know you're gonna break. They always do. Give it another week and you'll be crying to go home to your mama." That night Maya lay on her hard prison bed staring at the ceiling. She thought about her little brother Marcus back home. He was only 15 and looked up to her so much. Before she came to prison, she used to help him with his homework every night. She promised him she would become a teacher and help kids just like him. "I can't give up," Maya whispered to herself. "I won't give up," but Lisa was not done with her yet. The next morning Maya woke up to find all her books in the toilet. Pages were floating everywhere. Her laptop was broken on the floor. All her work was ruined. Maya fell to her knees and finally let the tears come. "Had enough yet?" Lisa said from the doorway. "Or do I need to teach you more lessons?" Maya looked up at Lisa through her tears. Something inside her was changing. The sadness was turning into something else, something stronger. "What did I ever do to you?" Maya asked, standing up slowly. Lisa was quiet for a moment. Then her face got hard again. "You think you special? Walking around here with your books and your dreams. Acting like you better than everyone else. Well, you not. You just another convict wearing orange just like me. So that's what this is about," Maya said. Her voice was getting stronger. "You mad because I still got hope? You mad because I still believe in myself? You mad because you gave up on your own dreams?" Lisa's face turned red. "Shut your mouth," "No," Maya said, taking a step forward. "I won't shut up anymore. You want to know the difference between me and you, Lisa? I'm in here because I made one mistake. One bad choice when I was desperate and scared. But you in here because you a bully. You always been a bully. And bullies are just scared little kids inside who never learned how to deal with their own pain." The whole cell block had gone quiet. Everyone was listening now. "You don't know nothing about me," Lisa yelled. "I know more than you think," Maya said. "I know you scared. I know you hurt. I know you gave up on yourself a long time ago. And now you trying to make everyone else give up too. But it ain't gonna work with me. Lisa raised her hand to hit Maya, but something stopped her. Maybe it was the way Maya stood there not backing down. Maybe it was the truth in her words, or maybe it was the look in Maya's eyes. Not hate, not fear, but something else. Something Lisa had not seen in a long time. Compassion. You know what, Lisa? Maya said softly. I feel sorry for you. Because hate is a prison too. And you've been locked up in that prison longer than any of us been locked up in this one. Lisa's hand dropped to her side. For just a moment her tough mask slipped. Maya could see the little girl inside who was scared and alone. But then Lisa's face got hard again. This ain't over, she said, and walked away. Maya thought it was over, but she was wrong. 3 days later, Maya was in the prison yard when she saw a crowd forming. In the middle was Lisa, but she was not picking on someone this time. She was on the ground bleeding. 3 women from another gang had cornered her. Not so tough now are you, one of them said, kicking Lisa in the ribs. Maya watched from across the yard. Part of her wanted to just walk away. After everything Lisa had done to her, why should she care? But then she heard her grandmother's voice in her head from when she was little. Baby girl, her grandmother used to say. Being strong ain't about fighting back when someone hurt you. Being strong is about doing what's right, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. Maya looked at Lisa on the ground. She was curled up trying to protect herself. The 3 women were much bigger and stronger. Lisa was going to get seriously hurt. Maya made a choice that would change everything. Hey, Maya yelled, running toward them. Leave her alone. The 3 women looked up surprised. This ain't your business, little girl, the leader said. Yeah, it is, Maya said, stepping between them and Lisa. Nobody deserves this. She's been making your life hell for weeks, another woman said. Why you protecting her? Maya looked down at Lisa, who was staring up at her with shocked eyes. Because that's who I am, Maya said. And I ain't gonna let hate change me into someone I'm not. The 3 women looked at each other confused. This was not how things usually worked in prison. But something about Maya's calm strength made them step back. You crazy girl, the leader said. But she was already walking away. Come on. She ain't worth it anyway. Maya knelt down next to Lisa, who was still on the ground. You okay? Maya asked. Lisa stared at her for a long moment. Why did you do that? She whispered. After everything I done to you. Maya helped Lisa sit up. Because hurting people don't make things better. It just makes more hurt. Lisa's eyes filled with tears. For the first time in years, she let someone see her cry. I don't understand you, she said. You don't have to understand me, Maya said gently. But maybe you can try to understand yourself. That night Lisa showed up at Maya's cell. Her face was bruised and her lip was cut, but she looked different somehow, softer. Can I talk to you? Lisa asked quietly. Maya nodded and moved over on her bed so Lisa could sit down. I ain't never had nobody stand up for me like that, Lisa said, staring at her hands. Not even when I was a kid. What happened to you, Lisa? Maya asked. What made you so angry? Lisa was quiet for a long time. Then slowly she started to talk. My daddy used to beat me and my mama, she said. Every night after he got drunk. I was so small, I couldn't protect her. I couldn't protect myself. I used to hide in the closet and listen to her scream. One day I promised myself I would never be weak again. Never let nobody hurt me again. Maya felt her heart breaking for the little girl Lisa used to be. So I got tough, Lisa continued. I learned to fight. I learned to be mean before anyone could be mean to me. I thought if I was the scariest person in the room, nobody could hurt me anymore. But it didn't work, did it? Maya said softly. Lisa shook her head. Just made me lonelier. And angrier. And more scared than ever. What you scared of now, Lisa? Lisa looked up at Maya with tears in her eyes. I'm scared that this is all I'll ever be. A bully, a criminal, a waste of space. I'm scared that it's too late for me to change. Maya reached over and took Lisa's hand. It's never too late, Lisa. Not as long as you're still breathing. Not as long as you still got a heart beating in your chest. How you know that? Lisa asked. Because look at us, Maya said. A week ago you were trying to break me down. Tonight you sitting here telling me your deepest secrets. If that ain't change, I don't know what is. Over the next few weeks something beautiful started to happen. Lisa stopped bullying people. She started helping Maya with her studies. She even started reading books herself. I ain't been to school since I was 14, Lisa told Maya one day in the library. But maybe it ain't too late to learn. Maya smiled and slid a book across the table. It's never too late to learn. And it's never too late to dream new dreams. As the months went by, Lisa changed more and more. She started standing up for other inmates who were being bullied. She joined a group therapy program. She even started writing letters to her mother, who she had not talked to in 10 years. My mama wrote me back, Lisa said one day with tears in her eyes. She said she's proud of the woman I'm becoming. She said she forgives me for all the years I was angry at her for not protecting me. Maya felt tears in her own eyes. How does that make you feel? Free, Lisa whispered. For the first time in my life I feel free. Maya was getting ready for her parole hearing. After 2 years in prison, she might finally get to go home. She had finished her college degree with honors. She had letters of recommendation from teachers and counselors. She had changed her life completely. But she was worried about leaving Lisa behind. You gonna be okay when I'm gone? Maya asked. Lisa smiled. It was a real smile now. Not the fake mean smile she used to wear. I'm gonna be more than okay, she said. I'm gonna keep changing, keep growing, keep helping people just like you helped me. What you gonna do when you get out? Maya asked. I've been thinking about that, Lisa said. Maybe I can work with kids. Kids who got angry like I was angry. Kids who need someone to show them there's another way. Maya's heart felt so full it might burst. You gonna be amazing at that. The day of Maya's parole hearing finally came. She walked into the room with her head held high. She was not the same scared young woman who had walked into prison 2 years ago. She was stronger now, wiser, more compassionate. Miss Johnson, the judge said, looking at her file. I have to say your transformation has been remarkable. Your counselors tell me you not only earned your degree, but you helped several other inmates turn their lives around as well. Maya thought about Lisa and smiled. We helped each other, sir. Well, whatever you did, it worked. Parole is granted. You'll be released next Friday. Maya wanted to cry with joy, but she held it together until she got back to her cell. Then she and Lisa hugged and cried together. I'm gonna miss you so much, Lisa said. This ain't goodbye, Maya said. This is see you later. Because you gonna get out too someday. And when you do, we gonna change the world together. Maya's last day in prison was bittersweet. She was excited to go home to her family. To start her new job teaching at an inner city school. To finally live the dreams she had held onto for so long. But saying goodbye to Lisa was one of the hardest things she ever had to do. Thank you, Lisa said as they stood at the prison gates. Thank you for seeing something good in me when I couldn't see it myself. Thank you for showing me what real strength looks like, Maya said. It ain't about being tough on the outside. It's about staying soft on the inside, even when the world tries to make you hard. As Maya walked through those gates into freedom, she thought about everything that had happened. She had come to prison broken and scared. She was leaving whole and strong, not because she had learned to fight, but because she had learned to love, even her enemies. 6 months later, Maya was teaching at Jefferson Elementary School. She loved every minute of it. Her students were mostly kids from tough neighborhoods. Kids who reminded her of her little brother. Kids who needed someone to believe in them. One day, the principal came to her classroom with exciting news. "Maya, we just got approval for a new program," she said. "We want to bring in formerly incarcerated people to talk to at-risk youth. People who turned their lives around. People like you. Would you be interested in helping us run it?" Maya's heart started beating fast with excitement. "Yes, ma'am. I know just the person to help." That weekend, Maya drove back to the prison for the first time since her release. She was there to visit Lisa, who was now just 6 months away from her own parole. "You look good," Lisa said, smiling through the glass. That separated them. "Happy. I am happy," Maya said. "But I'd be happier if you were out here helping me." Maya told Lisa about the program at school. About how they needed people with real experience to talk to kids who were going down the wrong path. "You think I could really do that?" Lisa asked. "Help kids? I know you can," Maya said. "You helped me. Then I'm going to help you get ready." For the next 6 months, Maya visited Lisa every weekend. They planned lessons. They practiced speeches. They talked about all the ways they could make a difference together. The day Lisa walked out of prison was one of the best days of Maya's life. She was there waiting with a new outfit and the biggest smile ever. "Welcome to your new life," Maya said, hugging her tight. Lisa looked around at the world outside the prison walls. The sun felt warmer. The air smelled sweeter. Everything looked different when you saw it through eyes of hope instead of hate. "I'm ready," Lisa said. "I'm ready to help some kids find their way." And that's exactly what they did. Together, Maya and Lisa started the Second Chance Youth Program. They went into schools and community centers telling their story, showing kids that no matter how far you fall, you can always get back up. No matter how lost you get, you can always find your way home. Lisa was especially good at reaching the angry kids, the ones who reminded her of herself. She would look them right in the eyes and say, "I know that anger. I've been where you are. And I'm here to tell you there's another way." One day they were speaking at a high school when a young girl raised her hand. "Miss Lisa," she said, "how did you change? How did you stop being angry?" Lisa looked over at Maya and smiled. "I met someone who showed me what love looks like. Not the kind of love that's all soft and sweet, but the kind of love that's strong. Enough to stand up to hate. Strong enough to choose kindness even when you've been hurt. Strong enough to see the good in people even when they can't see it themselves." "That sounds hard," the girl said. "It is hard," Lisa said. "It's the hardest thing you'll ever do. But it's also the most important thing you'll ever do. Because when you choose love over hate, you don't just change your own life. You change the world." After their presentation that day, Maya and Lisa sat in Maya's car talking about how far they had both come. "Sometimes I can't believe this is my life," Lisa said. 2 years ago, I was the meanest person in that prison. Now I'm helping kids find hope. You know what I learned," Maya said. Hurt people, but healed people heal people. We got healed, so now we can help heal others." "What you think would have happened if you hadn't stood up for me that day?" Lisa asked. Maya thought about it. "I think you would have found your way eventually. You got too much good in you to stay lost forever. I just helped you find it a little sooner. And what if I hadn't bullied you in the first place? Then I might not have learned how strong I really was." "Everything happens for a reason, Lisa. Even the bad stuff. Especially the bad stuff." As they drove through the city they had both grown up in, Maya thought about all the kids they had talked to that day. She wondered which ones would remember their words. Which ones would choose a different path because of their story. "You know what the best part is," Maya said. "We just planted seeds today. We might never know which ones grow into something beautiful. But somewhere out there, kids are going to remember that 2 women who made mistakes found a way to turn their lives around. And maybe that will give them hope when they need it most." Lisa nodded. "The best part about our story ain't that we changed. It's that we proved change is possible. For anybody. At any time. No matter how far gone they think they are. Years later, Maya would look back on her time in prison not as the worst thing that ever happened to her, but as the thing that made her who she was meant to be. A teacher. A mentor. A living example. That redemption is real and second chances can change everything. And Lisa would say the same thing. That the day she decided to bully the wrong girl was actually the day she found the right path. The path that led her away from hate and toward healing. Away from breaking people down and toward building them up. Their story spread far beyond their city. They wrote a book together called From Enemies to Angels. They spoke at conferences and universities. They started a non-profit organization that helped formerly incarcerated people find jobs and housing and hope. But their favorite part was still going into schools and looking into the eyes of young people who had lost their way. Kids who thought their mistakes defined them. Kids who believed they were too broken to be fixed. And every time they would tell those kids the same thing. You are not your worst moment. You are not your biggest mistake. You are not what happened to you or what you did when you were hurting. You are what you choose to do next. And we're here to tell you that no matter how dark it gets, there's always light ahead if you're willing to walk toward it. The prison bully had indeed messed with the wrong girl, not because Maya fought back with her fists, but because she fought back with her heart. She chose love over hate, forgiveness over revenge, hope over despair. And in the end, that made all the difference. Not just for Maya, not just for Lisa, but for every person whose life they touched from that day forward. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is show someone else what's possible when you refuse to give up on the goodness in people, even when they've given up on it themselves. Maya sat at her desk in Jefferson Elementary late one evening, long after the last of her students had gone home. The classroom was quiet except for the hum of the heater and the faint scratching of her pen across the pages of her lesson plan book. On the wall hung drawings her students had made. Crayon rainbows, stick figure families, and crooked hearts with the words, "We love Miss Johnson." Every time she looked at them, she felt a rush of gratitude. She had come so far from the frightened young woman who first walked through prison gates. She had fought her way back to herself. But she knew deep down she had not done it alone. Lisa had been a part of her journey just as much as she had been part of Lisa's. Their stories had tangled together like two threads that refused to break, pulling each other tighter until they formed something strong enough to hold both of them. 6 months had passed since Lisa's release. Together they had spoken to schools, churches, community centers, and even at a conference for educators. Every time they told their story, people leaned forward in their chairs, tears in their eyes, hope in their hearts. Teachers told them afterward that students who never listened to anyone listened to them. Parents said their children came home talking about change, about second chances, about believing in themselves. Even hardened adults admitted that their story had cracked open a part of them that had long been closed. Maya sometimes wondered how two broken women could end up fixing so many hearts. But maybe that was the point. Maybe brokenness was not the end of the story. Maybe brokenness was where the light could finally get in. Lisa was thriving in ways nobody could have imagined. She had found part-time work at a youth center, mentoring kids who reminded her too much of herself at 14. She had enrolled in night classes, determined to finally earn her GED. She had started meeting with her mother every Sunday afternoon for coffee. Their relationship was fragile, like a thin sheet of glass, but it was real, and every week they added another layer of strength to it. Lisa was no longer the woman who ruled the prison yard with fear. She was someone new, someone better. And sometimes even she could hardly believe it. One Friday evening after a long week at school, Maya sat at her kitchen table with a cup of tea when her phone buzzed. It was Lisa. "Hey, busy?" she asked. "Just grading papers. What's up?" Maya said. Lisa's voice carried a nervous excitement. I just left the youth center. There was this boy tonight, Marcus, about 15. Angry at the world, reminded me of me. He was about to throw a chair across the room, but I sat with him, told him my story. And Maya, he actually listened. He put the chair down, he cried, and he let me hug him. I think I reached him, her voice cracked. I think I actually made a difference. Maya's eyes filled with tears. She looked at the name Marcus scrawled on the top of her brother's old math notebook still sitting on her shelf. You did more than make a difference, Lisa, Maya said softly. You planted a seed, and that seed's gonna grow. You'll see. Lisa was quiet for a long moment. Then she whispered, I never thought I'd be somebody kids could look up to. I thought I'd die a bully, a convict, a waste. But now, I think I finally know what I'm supposed to do. Maya smiled through her tears. You already doing it, Lisa. You're living proof that it's never too late to change. Weeks turned into months, and their program grew bigger than either of them imagined. They got invited to speak in other cities. Churches raised money to help them expand. Local news stations covered their story. Soon people all over the state were talking about the Second Chance Youth Program. Kids who had been heading toward gangs and drugs were choosing school instead. Families who had given up on their children were finding hope again. Maya and Lisa's story was spreading like wildfire, a reminder that redemption was real and that no one was too far gone. But with growth came challenges. Not everyone believed in second chances. Some people wrote angry letters saying criminals should not be allowed to speak in schools. One evening after a presentation, a father stood up and said harshly, Why? Should my kids look up to people like you? You broke the law. You don't deserve to be role models. Lisa froze, the shame rising in her chest. For a moment, she almost believed him. But then Maya stepped forward. Sir, she said calmly, you're right. We did make mistakes. We are not proud of them. But the truth is, kids already look up to rappers, gang leaders, and influencers who glamorize crime. If we can stand here and show them where that path really leads, if we can show them that change is possible, isn't that worth something? We can't erase our past, but we can use it to build a better future for them. The room fell silent. Then one by one, people began to clap. Even the father lowered his head, tears in his eyes. Later he came up to Lisa and whispered, I lost my brother to prison. I wish he had someone like you back then. Moments like that reminded Lisa why she kept going, even when the doubts crept in. She began to see her scars not as marks of shame, but as proof of survival, proof that she could overcome, proof that others could too. Maya often told her, the things we think disqualify us are often the very things that prepare us to help others. Lisa was finally starting to believe it. One evening as they drove home from another event, the city lights flickering past the car windows, Lisa turned to Maya and said, Do you ever think about that first day we met? How different things could have been. Maya laughed softly. All the time. If you hadn't bullied me, maybe we wouldn't be here. If I hadn't stood up to you, maybe you wouldn't have changed. Funny how life works. Lisa shook her head. I thought I was breaking you, but really you were breaking me open, and I thank God every day for it. Years passed. Their program expanded nationwide. They trained other formerly incarcerated people to share their stories. They partnered with schools, juvenile detention centers, and even law enforcement. Thousands of young lives were changed. And through it all, Maya and Lisa stayed side by side, proof of what could happen when love triumphed over hate, when forgiveness triumphed over anger, when hope triumphed over despair. One day, many years later, Maya and Lisa stood together on a stage at a national education conference. The crowd was huge, the lights bright, the applause thunderous. Lisa stepped up to the microphone. She looked out at the sea of faces, at teachers, counselors, and leaders from all over the country. Her voice was steady, strong, filled with a quiet conviction. You are not your worst moment. You are not your biggest mistake. You are not what happened to you or what you did when you were hurting. You are what you choose to do next. And I stand here today as proof that change is possible. If a prison bully like me can turn her life around, then so can the kids you teach, the neighbors you live beside, the people you may have already given up on. Don't give up, please, because sometimes all it takes is one person believing in you to change everything. The crowd rose to their feet, clapping and cheering, many with tears streaming down their faces. Maya stepped forward and hugged Lisa, the same way she had hugged her on that last day in prison. Only now it was not a hug of survival but of triumph. Later that night, back in their hotel room, Maya looked at Lisa and whispered, "See? I told you, you were always meant for more." Lisa smiled, her eyes shining, and so were you. They sat in silence, two women who had once been enemies, but were now sisters in every way that mattered. Their lives had been broken and rebuilt. Their paths twisted and painful, but somehow, against all odds, they had found their way not just to freedom, but to purpose. And that was the true ending of their story, or maybe just the beginning. Because long after Maya and Lisa are gone, their words will live on in the hearts of the children they touched, the families they healed, and the lives they saved. Prison bully had indeed messed with the wrong girl. Not because Maya fought back with fists, but because she fought back with love. And that love didn't just change one life. It changed the world. If you enjoyed this powerful story of transformation and second chances, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another inspiring story. Your support helps us keep sharing emotional, life-changing stories that remind us all that hope, love, and redemption are always possible.